What a great day. I want to thank everyone for coming out today to show support for our celebration of life ceremony in honor of Coach Denham. And notice most of the golf attire. I think it is kind of his style, and the reason we don't have an urn on display, so to speak. But we do have memorabilia reflecting fond memories of his life, bringing a smile to our hearts. And hard to believe, most of these items were found in his car. Go figure. Right, Ken? Yeah. I would especially like to thank Bellarmine University for hosting and their gracious hospitality and welcoming support they have shown. Thank you, President Donovan. Glenn Cossey, I saw you. He is the Vice President of Development and Alumni Affairs, Director of Athletics, Scott Wiegand, and your entire team, Spugs, Chris, Pam, and Kristen for doing a remarkable job with this. Thomas Merton would be proud of the compassion your great university has shown. For the Bellarmine folks, they can explain to you non-Bellarmine folks the Thomas Merton tie-in there. When all things get finalized, we hope, even though hope is not a great strategy, expression in Coach Denham's honor will live on for a long, long time, marking the impact he has had on all of us here today. And there's a lot of others that sent wishes that could not make it today. Yes, I heard from a few that could not miss their tea times. I believe Coach Denham would find that A-okay. Whether you knew him as Ernie, Coach, Coach D, ED, Worm, Ern, Big Ern, or even as some in the GLVC referred to him as Bagger Vance, he meant something to us all. He certainly would have appreciated the celebration of life and not a more fitting place than Knights Hall. He loved it here. Coach can tell you, you could probably hear a basketball still bouncing in this gym in the early hours, right before he sent us an email, just reaching out for one reason or another. It is obvious that his sugar diet kept him up long hours. My name is Marty Storch. I am a lifelong friend. I first met Ernie Denham when he was the assistant golf professional at Big Spring when I was in 6th grade. Thanks to Brad Ogden, who took me there, and Ernie showed me how to hit bunker shots. See, coming from a municipal golf course, we didn't have a lot of opportunities to practice bunkers, and it's actually where I lost my first short game putting contest to ED, and yes, he did collect. I was not his first putting green victim, nor his last. We were friends from that day on. ED meant a lot to me, and I owe a huge debt of gratitude for his helping me become the person I am today. Let's just say he helped me get out of the rough and kind of back on the course. And yes, the golf pun is intended there. Ernie Denham impacted many of us in one way or another, and is the reason we are all here today for a celebration of Coach Denham's life.
First and foremost, on behalf of all of Ernie's former players, I would like to thank everyone involved for putting this celebration on. I'm not going to name any names because I'll inevitably leave somebody out, but to everyone involved, thank you. Ernie's players are grateful to have the opportunity to celebrate his life and reminisce about the countless memories with him. Ernie cared deeply about each of his players and would do whatever he could to ensure each and every one of them succeeded in whatever they were doing. He invested time and energy in many of his players before they ever even arrived at Bellarmine, while he was working junior golf tournaments across the state of Kentucky. Everyone knew who he was even before they got here, though, because he was the one rules official who would pop up out of nowhere and disappear just as quickly. This led to the nickname, the Worm, which he wore proudly. Obviously, Ernie invested his time and energy in players while they played for him. Once a player arrived at Bellarmine, they got to truly know who the Worm was. For those of you who might not know, team golf's a little different than basketball, lacrosse, soccer. Only 5 players travel to the tournament, and they go with the coach. And for 2 of my years here, Ernie didn't even have an assistant coach. So it was Ernie and the team on the road. Because of this, the team got close to Ernie. Many of the places the team traveled to were small little towns in the Midwest where there wasn't much to do other than play golf. Whether it was time spent in the van, time spent at dinner, time spent watching ball games, time in meetings, time at the course, the vast majority of Ernie's players' college weekends were spent with him. No matter where the team traveled to, though, the team was guaranteed that there would be a Burger King in that town. He could not function without his Coke Icy and Cinnamonnies. He had to have them, so that's what he had. He frequented Burger King so much that oftentimes the players thought he had stock in the company. During my junior year, the team was fortunate enough to qualify for the national championship. I was up in Hershey, Pennsylvania. NCAA held a banquet for the teams, the coaches. It was real nice. We all got dressed up for it, everything. So we go through the line to get food, and obviously all the players just stacking food on top of food to actually get some good food. And Ernie comes back, and he has one cookie on his plate. Somebody asked him, Ernie, you not hungry? What's up? And he proudly stated, "This is way too healthy for me. I haven't eaten a vegetable since I was a kid. I'm heading to Burger King if you all want an icy." Ernie was quick with the joke because he knew if he didn't get one out, one of his players was going to joke on him about something. Much like any person with a great sense of humor, he could give them out, or he could take them just as good as he could give them out. His players gave him hell about anything and everything they could, and he gave it right back to them. One time we came back from a tournament, and we always parked our cars right out in front of Knights Hall. That's where the van would leave from. So we came back. It was late one Sunday night, early one Monday morning. Everybody's unloading their car, or the van, and loading it into their cars, and Ernie's hubcaps were all missing. And somebody had stolen them, but Ernie suspected that it was one of his players and was convinced that it was a prank at his own expense. Of course, we all thought it was way better that he suspected us than the fact that his hubcaps were actually stolen. Ernie treated his players like family, and as such, his players loved playing for him. We argued together, we laughed together, we fought with one another. Every now and again, we got to celebrate together. In the end, though, we always wanted what was best for one another and always had each other's backs. Ernie's investment in his players didn't end once the players graduated. He was always there to write letter of recommendations or just to catch up for old time's sake. Because of this, his former players stayed loyal to him and cared deeply about him. When we found out he'd passed, we were all sad and upset, as expected. A man who had invested so much in each of us left us before we could all let him know how much we truly appreciated what he did for us. Soon the sadness gave way to smiles and laughter as we started talking about our favorite memories of Ernie. We'll all miss him dearly. I'll personally even miss him asking if I need a booster seat or a kids menu every time we went to dinner, like he always did. I can only imagine how much joy that would have brought him watching me have to pull this microphone down. All his former players are forever indebted to Ernie for the time he invested in them before they got to Bellarmine, when they arrived at Bellarmine, and after they left. We love you, Worm, and are grateful for the time spent together and the memories made because you chose us to be your players. Thank you.
Ernie, he was a great person. Always looking out for you, always wanting the best for you off the golf course, just in life. He's always telling us to just keep pushing on. But Ernie was he was a math guy, always doing stats for someone, for some sport, whether it's Bellarmine or I know he was at Trinity as well doing basketball stats there. But Ernie's life was sports, and he loved every aspect of it.
On behalf of Bellarmine University and Bellarmine Athletics, it's my pleasure to host you here for this celebration. Our deepest thoughts, condolences, and sympathies to the family. We've truly lost a golf legend. in planning this celebration, I was hopeful that it'd be filled with storytelling, and I think we've hit the mark. Fitting of Ernie, this is a great tribute and celebration. So if you would indulge me, I do have a few stories of the Big Ern myself. He was known for one-hitters, and the worm, I didn't know about that till we started talking about this, but oh my gosh, how appropriate is that? My office is located on the second floor, down at the end of the hallway, and Ernie would just kind of slither, if you will, past my door, and almost in a creeping motion to see if I was at my desk. And it wasn't once, but it'd be 2 or 3 times in passing, and then he would pop in. And then a story would start that was presented to me much like a run-on sentence without a breath, and then the deep inhale, as we all know and we're familiar with, and then the next paragraph would start. So I love that. The emails and voicemails that I would get were quite lengthy and very well written and thought out, almost to where it was just a yes or no answer that I had to give. But also those emails that he would send to our coaches at whatever hour they happened. But we had big weekends, and he would be one of the first to send a note. He shared office space with a lot of our coaches. And he would always be sitting there, I think maybe whatever computer game he was playing, backgammon or whatever the thing was that week. But that was pretty cool that he took notice of not just what his program was doing, but every other program. So he truly was a team player and a great member of our family. Jeff Smith, our associate commissioner from the GLBC, made it down from Indianapolis, and Kenny Badalak coached a long time in the league. We appreciate your attendance, but Jeff is the one that dubbed Ernie the Bagger Vance. We got to the GLBC championship, and from the fog would appear Ernie, and he was out marking the course to make sure that it was right for the championship, probably raking every bunker without being asked to do so. That was just Ernie. It came to be expected, but always appreciated. I hope, this not for the record, but we may or may not have seen one another at Horseshoe Casino. And it was always from a distance, but there was like eye contact and then immediately go the opposite way, like we didn't see. My wife's not here, so I can say it. So, but my first 4 years here, I was the baseball coach. And we'd get back from a road trip and dark in the gym with just the emergency lights, so basically keep from trip hazards. And there's a ball bouncing, and I'm unloading stuff, and I'm like, what the? Trying to be a great coach and administrator and steward of the university's resources, you go check it out to make sure that nothing's going on that shouldn't be going on. Well, it's Ernie out here jacking up threes. And he would run the ramps. And then the ball would stop, and I'd be back in the coach's office unloading my gear, and then he'd show up. He's like, hey, tough weekend, coach. I'm like, Ernie, you didn't see it firsthand. I was in the third base coaching box. But he always knew up-to-date scores and tracked everybody. But I enjoyed those times. There's many more, and trust me, I could go on for a while, but the common themes of all these stories speak volumes. The front of the card says what his team's earned and his coaching accolades, but most people didn't know that because he didn't self-promote. Did it for his players. The right reasons. I would love to ask him, what did you love more, the game of golf or coaching? I ask that in interviews now of young professionals that are getting ready to join our families. It's interesting to see because there's no right or wrong answer. I have my idea where Ernie would land. It's probably a 50-50. because he liked being around the guys. I wish we had that Coke icy machine, Marty. But in this day and age of intercollegiate athletics, this career of Ernie's is one for the books, and it truly is Hall of Fame worthy. Well said, Mike. They don't come around like this very often. We'll miss her. So in closing, just a simple thanks. We appreciate what you did. Thanks very much for being here.
I just want to first off say that I'm very honored to be up here speaking in front of you all and closing out in prayer especially. Because for myself, Ernie was someone that, and I know for a lot of players and in the past, he was someone that kept a lot of dreams alive on and off the course. And if it's okay, I just want to share a quick story. Like as a player, you saw Ernie at his happiest and at his angriest. And one of the times I saw him at his angriest was with Ryan's putter. I forgot it in my bag at Nationals during the practice round. And at the team meeting, all the players know about his team meetings, how they're pretty special. And, you know, he'll just go on and on about how bad the course was or how sometimes bad we were. But he got up in my face and kept yelling at me. It was like one of those things where, you know, like those old school coaches where spit comes out. I got that. And turns out that week I didn't make any putts because he was using my putter during the round. But the happiest was my freshman year at conference. Before each round, we went to the gas station and we all got slushies. And Ernie was just sitting there in the room, just with that smile up there, just sitting there in the room. And he would always be so confused as how Mac Van Linton finished it before him because Ernie would be one to drink the same slushie for about a day, it seemed like. But if you all just want to bow your heads with me, and so we can just close out in prayer. Lord, I just want to thank you for Ernie's life and his love of the game. It's no doubt that he touched a lot of lives because of that platform he had. He always showed his players what came first. It was to be happy and always go to class and to make sure that we had our priorities straight because golf wasn't going to last forever. Lord, we thank you for making Ernie not be ashamed of who he was. And we all know he was something else. He was his own person. And Lord, he was just someone he was an example of how we should live. You know, unapologetically selfless and just who he was. He would show up, get the job done without asking anything of anybody. Ernie was someone that just would love you for who you are and nothing else. And finally, I just want to thank you, Lord, for Ernie's heart. He always wanted the best for his players and the people around him. And Lord, he really taught us one lesson as a player, and that was just to never give up in any circumstance. It was always like a round of golf, just like life. You know, you get off to a bad start and there would always be time to fix it. So Lord, I just want to thank you for having Ernie be in each one of our lives and watch over us. Ernie, and if I know you're listening, thank you on behalf of all the players. Thank you for keeping the dream alive. In your name we pray, Lord. Amen.